This is Matthew. This is my 4th video, and I want to tell you some more because I didn't tell you what really happened in Hamilton jail in 2016. I was in the shower, minding my own business, and I was looking at the ground, touching my feet, stretching, when the guards grabbed me, threw me across the room against a wall, into a wall, and tried to drag me somewhere, and I started pulling away. There must have been 20 or more guards. I didn't even get a chance to look, and they threw me into a wall so hard, and I hit my head, and then they started shouting at me, and then they dragged me into the main area. It was an area with 8 cells. I was in a psychiatric area on the 3rd floor, and they hit me into the wall, hit my head off the wall, dragged me into the main area, and then they threw me up against the wall by the TV, and they were pulling both arms. I found out later that there was about 6 of them that had me by the arms on both sides. And then they ended up dragging me to the middle of the range and then pepper spraying me, throwing me to the floor. I almost hit my head on the floor, and I almost hit my head off a bench. And then they dragged me to my cell in handcuffs. They threw me violently to the floor, and I was terrified. And all they said in the shower was, "Do you know what's going on here? Do you see what's going on here?" And I was touching my feet. I wasn't even looking. Nobody told me to get out of the shower. Nobody told me there was an emergency or anything. There wasn't an emergency. The emergency was me being attacked, shackled in handcuffs so tight that I had permanent edema in both legs, permanent leaky blood vessels in both legs and feet. And they left me in the cell for about 10 or 15 minutes with pepper spray in my eyes. Then they opened the door. I was naked. I took my boxers off because I was wearing them in the shower. I took my boxers off, was sitting on the floor calmly. They threw the door open with pepper spray in my eyes, threw me over. I didn't even see. I just saw somebody run in. There was at least 2 guards, really strong guards, threw me over to my face on the floor while I'm sitting there calmly with my legs crossed, with pepper spray in my eyes. They threw me over to my front, threw boxers on, and then they shackled me immediately as they held me to the floor. They shackled me so tight that my feet were turning purple. They picked me up immediately, dragged me out of the cell, and I'm locked in a cell by myself. And that's what they did. And I'm telling you the truth. And this is the real story. This is really what happened. And I haven't had a chance to explain this to anybody. And nobody will listen when I try to explain it, even lawyers, because they're all scared of the police. So they shackled me as tight as they could. They didn't check if the shackles were too tight or anything. They picked me up immediately, dragged me out, and as soon as I got out, there was this blonde guard with short hair, this blonde sergeant with short hair, spiky hair, and she said, march him backwards immediately, march him backwards. And then they marched me backwards for about 10 minutes, all the way downstairs, down the hallway, and I was screaming the whole way that they're breaking my ankles, they're breaking my ankles. I was shouting to my friend, Scotty, they're breaking my ankles, 10 times at the top of my lungs, and she was marching me backwards with 2 guards. And they marched me as fast as they could at lightning speed. And then they left me in a cell, took me in an elevator downstairs while I'm looking at this blonde sergeant. She's not even paying attention to me, and she's walking behind the 2 guards that had me by both arms. And I'm going as fast as I can. I'm tripping, falling, and she's just dragging me.